Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Well, the aim of this presentation is to explore how island homes in Barbados combine environmental design, cultural identity, and resilience. Today's interview is about three key aspects: climate responsive architecture, traditional housing styles, and the influence of tourism. Well, firstly, we'll look at how environment shapes construction. Secondly, we'll examine historical and cultural features. Finally, we'll consider the broader island context. Well, now the environmental architect, Jonathan Vargas, is going to talk about us, to us. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, hi, yeah. First of all, we have to check the different environmental conditions of the Barbados Island architecture. We need to check that this place has a high humidity. Uh, Sometimes it could have hurricanes and intense spaces sunlight. This is really important because we need to adapt the architecture to this, and it usually happens there. Then we need to check the other way, that is the different bioclimatic conditions that we check and that we use in these places, like the cross ventilation, stuff like that we also use in this architecture and is more modern for looking for a low energy ways. So this is both important, and this is why we need to check like how the point is to make that here is that environmental design is both practical and essential for long-term resilience.
As I mentioned earlier, the cultural identity also plays a significant role. Now, I'd like to turn to how architecture reflects local history. Now, the tour guide, such an expert, Walter Valdelomar, is going to talk to us.
And Barbarian houses carry a centuries of heritage. Those were originally built in wooden and they were painted in many colors. And those were built to move as the families grow in plantations. So I think right now, if you walk through the streets of Barbados, you could see that the houses now, many of them, those that were called chattel houses, are being restored and placed to be for open for tourism, and many others remain in rural areas. And for me, I think that barbarian houses, Barbados houses, are the perfect example of the balance between identity and the cultural heritage. And those houses are not just for resisting the climate, it's also they carry history and they carry heritage of Barbadian people.
Okay, okay. Interesting. Then I'll move on the broader island context, especially how tourism interacts with local housing. We'll come back to this point later when we discuss future challenges. Jonathan.
Okay, perfect. We have to know that tourism has encouraged a blend of modern villas and traditional styles. You could know that the coastal development has increased significantly in the last decade. What is actually interesting is that many new projects now include eco-friendly materials and solar system, reflecting global expectation for sustainability.
Okay, okay. So, to sum up, Barbadian island homes stand at the intersection of environment, history, and innovation. In conclusion, we can say that their architecture reflects both resilience and cultural identity, while also adapting to the new pressure, opportunities, all those things. If you have any questions, we'll be pleased to answer them. Let them on the comment section.